When it comes to growth, the Wasatch Front is bursting at the seams.
18,000 population 15 years ago when I started. You know, we're upwards to 65,000 now.
Back in the day, there was a lot of orchards and farms and things of that nature, but we're not growing crops anymore. We're growing homes and we're growing children.
The economy in this part of the state is robust. There are jobs, houses, and new opportunities almost everywhere you turn.
We have this amazing thing called Silicon Slopes and great expansive business growth happening where we're producing all these new high-tech jobs.
But on the road to understanding, it's been clear that all that growth also comes at a cost.
A lot of slowing, Brian, if you're trying to get from Point of the Mountain to downtown.
Traffic in Lehigh.
And I'm running a little bit below the speed limit.
It's in the afternoon or in the morning, it's bad.
Trying to get on the freeway right there is ridiculous.
You're going to hit those delays. That's a solid slowdown.
For some, it's unbearable.
I think you're asking the wrong person. I have a lot of road rage.
For others, getting home in time for dinner, almost impossible.
If somebody breaks down or there's an accident, you're stuck. And there's really nowhere to go.
You're still crawling along southbound I-15.
It's a problem the city is well aware of.
I mean, there's complaints. It's growing pains in Lehigh.
When I first came, we had 3 stoplights on Main Street.
Yeah, growth in Tooele has been good for business, but that hometown feeling can get lost.
We formed a bond with our customers. And as the town has grown and we don't know as many of the faces anymore.
2016 was a record year for growth.
Another reality of rapid growth is education. 14,300 kids this school year, and they all need teachers.
We have a difficult time finding teachers.
There are pockets outside the main metro area where once small towns are now booming cities.
People come here from all over the world. It's amazing that people have heard of Moab, little old Moab.
I see it going into a mini city. Pretty soon we're going to need a Walmart and we're going to need those things.
Thank you.
You know, we all try to keep it as a local town, but it's just the demand of things. And you said a double Sunday?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Rebecca Pittman works in the Moab Diner.
Off and on for 5 years.
She says that growth has created some headaches.
Pricing of houses have gone up. I mean, the cost of living is very difficult for a lot of us. I see you're all set up with your ice cream. A lot of people have 2 and 3 jobs just to be able to maintain and have a home.
There is so much to love about St. George. Amazing outdoor recreation.
You know, whatever you're into, there's pretty much a thing around here to do it.
Friendly hospitality.
268. It's a big enough city, but it feels small. It's got this nice small town atmosphere.
And the weather. But as St. George grows, there are growing pains.
There's just not the right doctors down here.
We have to be careful. Intersections are getting busier.
My wife and I have been looking for a really good, affordable, place to live or rent or for a while now, and it's just not available,
Affordable housing is a real issue here, specifically the rental market. There is just not enough supply of affordable multifamily rentals to meet demand. In fact, according to research firm NAI Excel, the number of available rentals in St. George is below 1%.
As you leave the hustle and bustle of Utah's bigger populations, though, you find a much different picture. Instead of growing, many communities are shrinking.
It's about as peaceful of a place as there is in Utah. The mountains, the wildlife, the quiet.
Wide open spaces.
Bill Sudweeks knew he would always end up back in Paiute County.
Oh, I enjoy living here. It's very nice. It's not crowded.
It's where he grew up and where he now owns a ranch with cattle and alfalfa. But unlike Sudweeks, many kids who leave never come back.
Right now, a lot of our youth, when they graduate from high school, can't afford to live here. That's the reason I left, is because as a youth, I didn't have any opportunities here.
Our biggest export is our kids.
We are also exporting our children.
We have great ethics in our children. They're educated well, but we have to export them.
It's really hard to recruit into a ghost town.
Once stable industries are disappearing.
Just up this road at the mouth of Huntington Canyon in Emery County is the Castle Valley Mine.
I'd like to bring everyone in the state of Utah on a tour of the mine someday, just to see how it works.
In Utah, 76% of power generated still comes from coal plants. Coal isn't going away anytime soon, though. A lot of mines in Emery County have closed, taking high-paying jobs with them.
It's a little nerve-wracking, yeah.
Britton was out of work for nearly 6 months when the mine he used to work at closed, leaving him, his wife, and 6 kids wondering where that paycheck was going to come from.
I was worried. I almost had to move to Chicago. I was hoping to not have to, and I was able to stay here, luckily.
Others, though, haven't been so fortunate.
There's been over 300 jobs leave our coal mines.
We got up to around 11% earlier this past year in unemployment.
Folks in Cokeville are concerned about many closed businesses in town.
We would like to have more jobs available, and we have a lot of talented people here.
It's a similar concern felt across the border in Montpelier, Idaho.
Definitely more job opportunities in the area. We have two of our biggest employers are the hospital and the school, and not everybody works at either of those places or have the qualifications to work there. So it's kind of difficult to find good jobs that can support a family and yourself if you're single.
Chris works in the oil fields.
Yeah.
And because they live in the Uinta Basin, when boom turned to bust, work was tough.
The first one that crashed, I lost my job. And this time around, I told myself I'll do whatever it takes to keep my job.
For the past 4 years or so, that meant leaving his family behind to work in Texas, North Dakota, Montana for weeks, even months at a time.
I'd do what needed to be done to make sure my family had a roof over their head at all times.
There are signs oil is picking up again. 3 months ago, there were 0 oil rigs working in the basin. In mid-March, there were 7. That's still way down from 42 in 2008, but it is a sign of recovery here, which for the Wilsons just might mean no more long stretches of being apart.
It'd be nice to see him a lot more often.
We just want to provide for our families. We want the opportunity, like so many people else have got, to provide.
We're not urban and we're not rural, we're herbal.
Box Elder County Commissioner Jeff Hadfield says he'd like to see more of that industry down the road come up north, but he knows how important it is to keep farmers in mind.
It's a fine balance that we're trying to protect our agriculture and help keep it growing and still be able to have the growth for economically that people desire.
And while many people want to preserve the small town feel, the great fear of becoming a ghost town is very real.
Of course, there are some who think if more industry does eventually come, it would damage that peaceful feeling.
I don't know how much they sit down and think about the problem, but what they like is they like the lifestyle and they like the fact that there's not a lot of people here. They just want to keep it this way, and so by not having industry, they can keep it this way.
But he feels that would eventually lead to less families, more poverty, and a slow death of a county he loves.
If we're going to fix it, we're going to have to take significant steps to make it happen.